बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलामु अलैकुम एवरीवन, माय नेम इज़ अक्सर सईद। वेलकम बैक टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। आज के इस लेक्चर में हम डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज टीचिंग एमसीक्यूज़, जो कि हमारे पीपीएससी और एफपीएससी के लेक्चरशिप की एग्ज़ाम के लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट हैं। तो आज हम इस वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज टीचिंग एमसीक्यूज़। काइंडली जो लोग चैनल पर न्यू हैं, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, वीडियो को लाइक कीजिएगा और शेयर कीजिएगा। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं हम अपना आज का लेक्चर। ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट और इंटरेस्टिंग है, आपने स्किप नहीं करना, स्टार्ट से लेकर एंड तक ज़रूर देखिएगा। तो इसमें सबसे पहला जो एमसीक्यूज़ है, द नॉलेज possessed by native users of a language which enables them to speak and understand their language fluently is called, वो नॉलेज क्या कहलाता है? दैट इज़ कॉल्ड कॉम्पिटेंस। ऑडियोलिंगुअल मेथड इज़ आल्सो नोन एज, ऑडियोलिंगुअल मेथड का जो दूसरा नाम है दैट इज़ आल्सो नोन एज ओरल अप्रोच, यानी ओरल अप्रोच। इन ऑडियोलिंगुअल मेथड ग्रामर इज़ इंक्लूडेड फ्रॉम, ग्रामर कैसे इंक्लूडेड की जाती है? फ्रॉम एग्जाम्पल्स। द स्ट्रक्चरल अप्रोच इज़ अ टेक्निक वी आर इन अ लर्नर मास्टर्स, द लर्नर जो है वो मास्टर्स करता है दैट द पैटर्न ऑफ सेंटेंस। द प्रोसेस ऑफ ब्रेकिंग अ क्लास ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स इंटू स्मॉल ग्रुप्स सो दैट they can learn and discover together is called, that is called cooperative learning. Students are talking about tenses in small groups. Teacher is observing them without intervening their discussion. The teacher will provide feedback after the discussion. Which approach is it? That is called communicative language teaching. Generative grammar focuses primarily on the form of a sentence rather than its communicative competence. That is true. The hypothesis of dash dash is that language is a system of the human mind, that is called generative grammar. Dash is concerned with rules for correct usage. It tells you how to speak correctly, that is called prescriptive grammar. Role play is also called, role play का दूसरा नाम है simulation. Alphabetic method is also called, alphabetic method का दूसरा नाम है spelling method. Phonetic method is a method of teaching children how to read. ग्रामर ट्रांसलेशन मेथड इज़ बेस्ड ऑन, ग्रामर ट्रांसलेशन मेथड बेस करता है क्लासिकल अप्रोच पे। अल्फ़ाबेटिक मेथड वाज इन्वेंटेड बाय, अल्फ़ाबेटिक मेथड जो है वो इन्वेंट किया था अमेरिकन्स ने। डैश आर बेस्ड ऑन द बिलीफ दैट द फंक्शंस ऑफ लैंग्वेज शुड बी एम्फेसाइज्ड नॉट द फॉर्म्स ऑफ लैंग्वेज, दैट इज़ कम्युनिकेटिव approaches. Functions of language mean what language is used for. Forms of language mean how language is written correctly. What is communicative competence? Communicative competence is the general ability to use language to communicate successfully. Grammatical competence is the ability to use dash accurately. क्या है? यानी ग्रामर का accurate use है, grammar accurately. What do we mean when we say anticipation in reading? That is called guessing. In phonetic method, the children are taught to recognize relationship between letters and sounds. What is macro teaching? Macro teaching क्या है? Macro teaching is one or more skills at the same time, means at the large level. Micro means small. The test in which words are removed from a passage at regular intervals, leaving blank, is called a closed test, जिसमें fill in the blanks होते हैं. What is meant by recapitulation? Means summing up. Productive skills जो हैं वो speaking and writing हैं. Concentration on dash only will not make an L2 learner, means language to second language learner, able to make or explain second language expressions, that is grammatical competence. The unconscious knowledge of rules that every human possesses is called, that is called linguistic competence. What is social linguistic competence? The ability to use language appropriately in society is called social linguistic competence. Dash deals with a set of grammar rules and focuses on the teaching of grammar rules, that is called prescriptive approach. Teaching technique employed for teachers training is called, that is called micro teaching. The time period in my micro teaching is, micro teaching का जो time period होता है वो 5 minute to 10 minute होता है. The procedure of alphabetic method is, alphabetic method का जो procedure है that is letters to words and words to phrases and phrases to sentences. The procedure of syllabic method is, syllabic methods का जो procedure है that is syllables are combined to form words and sentences. The procedure of sentence method is, sentence method का जो procedure है that is sentences, phrases, words and letters. Most important methods of teaching grammar are, that are deductive and inductive. What is the basic concept of inductive approach? That is rules should come first and examples later. What is the basic concept of deductive approach? That means examples should come first and rules later. According to what? how language is used is important rather than how language should be used, that is descriptive grammar. What is vernacular? Vernacular means the language of ordinary speech rather than formal writing. The primary function of human language is, primary function जो है human language का, that is communication. What is language according to Chomsky? Chomsky के according language क्या है? That Chomsky के according language is a system represented in the mind or brain of a particular individual. The language learning theory given by Skinner is called, that is called operant conditioning. Assessment of a student without an instrument in the natural setting is called observation. A test that measures learning outcomes of students is called, that is called achievement test. Unit test is an expression of, that is an expression of formative evaluation. Dash test is a highly reliable test, that is objective type test. To cover all course in minimum time, which type of questions should be asked, that is objective type questions. Evaluation in education is both continuous and cumulative. Dash takes place when a student's work is evaluated by one or more than one students in his group. Peer assessment. A good language proficiency test is a combination of objective type short questions and essay type questions. A test is said to be dash if it gives same scores when administered at different occasions. That is reliable test. Written examination is also known as, written examination का दूसरा नाम पेन पेपर टेस्ट होता है. The unit of teaching indirect method is, that is sentence. Latest scheme of evaluation outlined by the CBSE is, that is continuous and comprehensive evaluation. What helps a learner to learn a lot, that is mother tongue. In dash method, teacher gives the instructions and the students follow the instructions by using whole body responses, that is total physical response method. Which method or approach was developed in the opposition of audiolingual method, that is communicative language teaching? Which approach was influenced by Stephen Krashen's theory of language acquisition, that is natural approach? Dash method can be considered as a combination of the direct method and grammar translation method, that is bilingual method. The bilingual method was a reaction against the dash method, direct method. Dash is recent and latest approach of English teaching, that is communicative approach. In which approach words are used in particular order to convey their meanings, that is structural approach. In dash grammar is taught inductively rather than deductively, that is direct method. The main aim of communicative language teaching is to dash, that is to provide communication competence to learners. The most important element in communicative language teaching is, that is meaning. What is pattern practice? It is a technique in which students repeat a sentence. They either change words, for example verb, or they change a statement to a question, etc. Communicative approaches are a reaction against the artificiality of, that is pattern practice. Grammar translation method makes use of pattern practice, that is true. Lists of vocabulary and tests of grammar are focused in, that is grammar translation method. In communicative language teaching, teacher promotes communication by greeting situation. Communicative approach to evaluation may emphasizes, that is importance of meaning of utterances rather than form and structure. Who is known as the father of accelerated learning, that is Georgy Luzanev. Suggestopedia was developed by, Suggestopedia को भी Georgy Luzanev ने ही develop किया था. Little or no attention is given to pronunciation in dash, that is grammar translation method. Who gave question answer method, that is Socrates. What is the role of the student in communicative language teaching, that is speaker and negotiator? Communicative language teaching mainly focuses on, that is semantic objective of learning language. Teaching through deductive method is from general to specific. Dash of language and meaning is important in communicative language teaching, that is contextualization. In which teaching method a teacher reads the book and tells the students main points, that is textbook method. Which teaching method is known as chalk and talk teaching method, that is lecture method. To teach evaporation, a teacher boils water inside the classroom to show the children how the water turns into steam. Here the teacher is using demonstrative method. Which school of philosophy of education advocated project method of teaching, that is pragmatism. Learning by project method is also known as, that is incidental learning. Project method is propagated by Kilpatrick. The principle of learning by doing was originally propounded by, that is Rousseau. J.S. Berner has developed the dash method of teaching, that is discovery method. Teaching while walking is the best method of education. Who said so? That is said by Rabindranath Tagore. Teaching through inductive method is from specific to general. Sounds, symbols, and vocabulary are language, that are equipments. Sounds, symbols, and sorry, repeated. English no longer enjoys the position of a dash, that is foreign language. The maximum participation of students is possible while teaching English by the teacher using authentic task through communicative approach. Storytelling should be used frequently in classrooms because it provides space for teachers to engage in other academic tasks. Storytelling, the most important prerequisite for language learning, is providing a good means textbook to children. What should the students be given for maximum transfer of learning, that is similar tasks requiring same responses? B.F. Skinner claimed that language is learned through drill and practice. In a language learning class, meaningful environment can be created by fun activity, dramatization, and storytelling. In an English class, mother tongue influences can be effectively minimized by dash, that is giving inputs from the target language in a simple manner. A test that is designed to predict future performance is called aptitude test. Which test is predictive in nature, that is aptitude test. Tests involving the construction of certain patterns are called performance test. Projective techniques are used to measure, that is personality. A test that measures the learning outcome of students is called achievement test. The analysis of items is necessary in standardized test. Which test compares the performance of a student with other students, that is norm referenced. Which item is best in a norm reference test, that is item difficulty is near 50. In norm reference test, the comparison is between, that is individuals. A student's performance is compared with clearly defined learning tasks in, that is criterion reference test. The supply type test item is, that is completion items. Tudor-Richardson method is also used to indicate reliability. The incorrect options in multiple choice questions are called detractors. The most widely applicable test item is, that is MCQs. The ability to select, organize, integrate, and evaluate ideas is demonstrated by, that is extended response questions. The characteristic of a test to discriminate between high achievers and low achievers is called differentiability. The alternative name of table of specifications is, that is test blueprint. Which method of English language teaching is based on the behaviorist theory, that is the army method. Grammar translation method was developed primarily to teach which languages, that were Latin and Greek. In which method, instructors give commands to students in the target language with body movements and students respond with whole body actions, that is total physical response. Which method uses reinforcement for teaching a language, that is the army method. Suggestopedia is a portmanteau of the words suggestion and pedagogy. In teaching experienced, members guide the immature ones for adjustment of life. The goal of teaching is desirable change in behavior. सिम्पोजियम इज़ अ टाइप ऑफ सिम्पोजियम जो है वो टाइप है डिस्कशन मेथड की. ह्यूरिस्टिक का मतलब होता है टू इन्वेस्टिगेट, तहकीक करना. द हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ कॉग्निटिव डोमेन इज़, दैट इज़ इवेल्युएशन. Students find the information themselves in discovery method. CAI stands for computer assisted instruction. Teacher performs practically and explains in demonstration method. What is the time for presentation in micro teaching, that is 5 to 10 minutes. What is the first step in project method of teaching, that is distribution of work. Grammar should be taught by making learners do written assignments. According to NCF 2005, the role of a teacher has to be facilitative. As a language teacher, what is most important for you regarding teaching of grammar, that is using functional approach. Which approach lays a lot of emphasis on habit formation, that is behavioristic approach. What are incentive techniques, that are prize, praise, competitions, etc. The quality of teaching is reflected by the quality of questions that is asked by students. The most important characteristic of open book examination system is that it reduces examination anxiety among students. Which teaching method encourages the use of a maximum senses, laboratory method. The main objective of teaching at higher education level is to develop the capacity to take decisions. A teacher uses visual aids to make learning, that is interesting. The students who keep on asking questions in the class should be encouraged to find answers independently. Teacher has been glorified by the phrase friend, philosopher, and guide because he transmits the high value of humanity to students. The most important cause of failure for teacher lies in the area of, that is lack of command over the knowledge of the subject. What gives more freedom to the learner to interact? That is small group discussion. Communicative language teaching was proposed by, that is Del Himes. What maxim does communicative language teaching follow? Simple to complex and concrete to abstract. Which method is not compatible for introvert and backward students? That is communicative language teaching. Self-correction by students, question answer exercises and reading out loudly are the characteristics of direct method. The silent way of language teaching was introduced by Caleb Gattigno. CLS stands for Community Language Learning. Justopedia was advocated by Justopedia जो था वो एडवोकेट किया था डॉक्टर जॉर्जिया लुजैनब ने. आई होप इट्स क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू. थैंक यू वेरी मच. आज की इस वीडियो में हमने डिस्कस किए हैं 150 MCQs जो कि FPSC के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. अल्लाह हाफिज़.